What's good, people, and welcome to our round 17 review. Big score time. We had a lot of big scores. I was seeing a lot of big scores, and my score was on the bigger end, and we still went up, but really missed opportunity. And I'll explain in a bit why it was a missed opportunity, even with a score of 2,624. Top 4% for the round, and we did rise 325 ranks to put us top 1.5k. So now we're 1,394 ranked. I'm only going to try to attempt to go up from here with 6 trades left and only 1 spot to fill. Lots of options, lots to go through, but I'll kind of explain where I went wrong this week. And it was so close to being a massive, massive score. And I think you can see it immediately right at the front. Zachy Butters as my captain. In hindsight, as I keep saying it, I should not have put the captain on Butters. I had it on Dacos, and in all worlds, I was going to take the 133 that he had, but all my loops had already played, so I didn't have any other options. It was either Nasai, Wangani, Malira, I know, or Butters, and I kept it on Butters because of how ultra consistent he's been. I should have just gone Naz, playing Essendon. No one's going to put attention into him. He was going to go massive regardless, and he did. Whereas Butters, I totally forgot about Finn O'Sullivan, and of course had that tag on O'Sullivan. I think Butters was on like 60 at 3/4 time, and he came good in the last quarter to go 103, which is serviceable, nothing amazing, but it's not Bont levels of bad, of an 80, something like that. It just, with the score we had, we could have gone even bigger with just a Nick Dacos or even Nasaya as a captain. I wasn't going to go with SHEEZY or 180, which is kind of ridiculous, so I was never going to go there. But yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, that's the game, isn't it? And I've been blessed with lots of great captain scores over the year so far, so it's fine. But let's go in depth with each individual performance, which we have starting Nasaya, Wangani, Malira, 160. I should have gone there. He was mopping it up. No Sinclair, was doing all the hard work down and back. No one's putting any attention into him, and it was just a big day for lots of St Kilda mids, Max Hole, a few others that went big, Ron Marshall, and that ruck setup. I knew it was going to go big. I think even though Marshall's gone big, I think I'm holding off of that pick because of the fact that I know TDK is going to come back towards finals and affect a lot of people's ears that jump on now. So I'm holding off of the Marshall move, even though the next 3 or so weeks are going to be higher end scores for him for his price, which is, if you've got the trades, I would use him as a little bit of a cash generator while also putting high scores in field. Instead of going with your rookie options, which you do have a couple available, maybe you just go for a Marshall pick and make some money while also having big scores in field. This week got Port, so he's got John Sweet, who has been actually playing pretty well and kept Jerry pretty quiet. Last night it was. So 160, absolutely massive. Should have been my captain. Dumb. I took a risk and didn't pay off. So is what it is. And then we go Maxi Holmes, 114. He was good, and he is number 1 mid for the rest of the year, I think. Nasai's going to be pretty close with Sinclair out, but I think Holmes is like a lock. If you don't have him, you need him pretty much. 114 is just what he's probably averaging at this point. There you go, the 116 average. So that's right bang on average, and you take that every day of the week. Like Yash, 105. He came good. He was not doing great to halftime, and then he finally, kind of like a Zach Butters situation, but he got his bang on average again. So we've got a lot of averages over here, except this bloke, of course. 105, you're going to take that every day of the week. And then Bailey Dale, absolutely insane, 151. He's got super high ceiling and a super low floor. So he's a risky pick, and he could win you a week, and then next week he could lose you. But 151 was basically the only Bulldog who was doing anything out there. Had a lot of the ball. I don't think that they put a lot of attention into him because of the touches in that halfback weren't that damaging, and it proved. Bulldogs got topped off, so yeah, it is what it is. 151 is massive though, and you take that. Worrell, 81, a little bit lower down back to earth, but I'm fine with that. He's coming against Gold Coast at Adelaide Oval this week, so I'm expecting a bigger score from the 81. So we've gotten about 100 and then an 81 at his price point, and the available options fine. But the bloke next to him, Dan Houston, I so want to get gone. He's just going to ruin me a game late season. I just want him out of my side. He's 120 one week, 80 the next, 64 the next, 120 again. It's so frustrating. I think I'm have to hold him this week because he's got North Marvel Stadium Friday, smaller grounds. I think that you just have to hold him for now, and maybe he can be one of my last moves after I fill the roll down the bottom with Hugo. But 64 is just diabolical, that bad that he didn't even count to my score for this round. So yeah, disappointing pick for sure. Dacos 133 played well. Don't know if he got the tag. I don't think he did. 133 is what I wanted to have as my vice captain score, but I didn't plan it well enough. I didn't do enough sitting down and looking at it because I went to go put on one of my non-playing, like a Banfield, but then I had McKenna already play with that 58, so I wouldn't have had any of the scores from in here. So I thought, I'm screwed. I'm just going to roll it with Butters, roll the dice, and didn't play out in my favor, but it's okay. But 133, he's going big. And if you got him for that really nice price halfway through the season, after he had a few down games, you're absolutely living in it. Yeah, he's been good since then. Butters 103, was slow, was tagged, still had a bit of an impact, but one of his more quieter games. And of course that happens when I do put the captain on him. And it has happened every single time I've put the captain on Butters. So it's frustrating because next week he's playing St. Kilda. He'll get 145 or something like that, and I won't have the captain on him. So yeah, it is what it is, but it's fine. We move on. Bontebelli 80 just hasn't been the pick of recent years. He can have some absolutely massive scores, as we know. Lots of his touches accumulate to lots of points because they're effective and they're contested and all sorts. But the 80 is just, yeah, down game for everyone that was playing for the Bulldogs except Dale. So you don't read into it too much. It's the Bont. He'll come good. And he is at a decent price right now. If you don't have him, he will go lower as well. So it might be, if you're completing your team, Bont and Pally might be the pick. I'm not sure what their run home is. And I think if you're still structuring your team for the run home, you really want to look at fixture to see who's got the easiest fixture. I'm not sure about Bont and the Bulldogs, but I know that the Crows have an easier fixture going home. Melbourne have a pretty easy fixture. I think the Saints have a pretty damn nice fixture. But don't quote me on any of that because I'm not sure for 100%. Zach Merritt, 120. Welcome back, buddy. Serviceable as usual, 120. I don't know if he's just having that full mid-roll. I didn't watch this game because it was right before Port were playing, so I was basically on the way. But I don't know if he's got that halfback role or just that solid straight up midfield role, because I know Durham has got that midfield role locked down and he looks like a bull in there. So great with that pick. But 120 is great. If I can get that consistently for the back end of the year from Merritt, it's a good pick. Oliver, 112, great pick once again for myself. He's actually priced right now. He's priced pretty well, I do believe. Right next to his brother right there, Callahan. But I believe that Clayton Oliver has been a better pick than Callahan, to be honest with you. He's just been ultra consistent. Every now and then he's going to give you that 80 or so, but I still think that, yeah, he's serviceable. Lots of contested possessions which accumulate very quickly. Callahan, 104, is fine as well. They were slow going, all the Giants players. Ash, Clayton Oliver, Callahan. One thing to add with Ash is that Whitfield has gone down with HIA, so he won't be playing next week. They have Geelong at NG, so it might be hard anyway, but Ash is probably going to take a bit of that bowl that Whitfield will be using back down there. He's going to have a solid halfback role, so if you've got Ash, good good for you. If you don't have Ash and you've got Whitfield, bad luck, but that is becoming a big issue with Whitfield, those head knocks. He gets a few of them. But yeah, Callahan 104 is fine. Scrape by. LDU 121 had a massive first quarter. He was absolutely everywhere. Looked super lanky out there, running down. Yeah, looked great. He had a few set shot moments towards the early stages of the game that just passed up over and over again. I think he wasn't confident, but when he would kick it in broad, it would go to nothing. So efficiency could be a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter. 121 is still pretty good. Raul 72, not great whatsoever. It's kind of because I've got 3 Gold Coast and 3 Giants. It's always one of them that's going to not perform, and it was Rao's turn this time to not perform. Other to Miller, which got a 93, which is fine for what I paid for him, I think. But 72 is not great, not good enough. But I'm way more confident on a Matt Rao than I am a Houston towards the end of the year. Only issue being is Gold Coast run home is really tough. It is one of the teams that I do know that has a tough run home is Gold Coast, and they're saying that they might lose the next 3 in a row just by sheer matchup. Crows at Adelaide Oval, I think Geelong's in there, and Carlton, so it's going to be difficult. Something to potentially keep an eye on, but we'll see what happens. It might be a move that I could make towards the end of the year if I've got enough cash to kind of swap for a top stringer, a top runner, big old midfield, but that is also a move for saving trades, and you want to always keep a couple for injury as well. So holding off there. Gawn 165, did not really predict that at all. I think he played against Reeves, whoever Hawthorn's ruck was. I didn't think that he would have a 165, but apparently he wheeled them, so good on you, Gawn. He's been best captain pick. No, not best captain pick, best ruck pick, in my personal opinion, for the whole entire season, if you've held with him. He was out of the ruck conversation for a while at the start of the season. It was Jerry, Jackson, and Grundy, and Gawn was outside. I think that Gawn has been probably, in my personal opinion, the greatest ruck of all time. Supercoach wise, in AFL standard wise, ultra consistent, 165, captainable each week pretty much. You guarantee 100. Yeah, 165, brilliant. And Dogger, 94, not great, but fine. We've had some really big scores from him during the year. A 94 is nothing to complain about, for sure. Forwards, SHEEZY 180. I was watching that, and it didn't look like it had that much impact on the game. A lot of nothing touches, as they call it, SHEEZY Bowl. But he's gone from last week, which was like, 175 to, and I made a title over him, to a 180. Absolutely gone insane. Champion Dart absolutely loving him for some reason, because the touches didn't look that influential, but his price is absolutely ridiculous right now, almost at that 700,000 range, which he's going to go up, I think, even further next week just because of his score this week. So damn, that's absolutely massive, and he's an absolute lock for me every single year from here until he retires, pretty much. I think first season when he came in and he was just a gun from the get-go, he hasn't left my team since, to be honest. So, and he shouldn't have. If you don't have him, big of a question to ask for you, but 180 is pretty big. Warren Francis is 131. He came out and he played against Kangaroos. That's crazy. I was expecting a Butters score, like a 103 or even lower, around that 70, 80. Like he's had a few towards the mid stage of the year, but 131's crazy for his bogey team, to be honest. And I actually am super intrigued. His recent, like, since I brought him in, where is it? Here we go. So I brought him in this period. I think it was here I brought him in because I had no other options. I think it was like he gave me a 61, and then he's just absolutely been like one of the best forwards from here. So 128, had his bye, 119, 112, 128, 112, and then a 131. I am just going to say it. He's become underrated. Jason Horne-Francis has become underrated, which is crazy. His run of form has been impressive. He's just willing Port every game. I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's the only one that I can consistently say he's tried his guts out every single game. So far this year, pretty much. Even in the games where he hasn't had a lot of it, he's been pushed forward because of no other options. So yeah, he's had a great season and quite a slept-on season, in my personal opinion, because of Port's position, which is naturally just going to happen. Then pick at 103, you take that. You do take that when he's given you scores around that 60 region, 70 region in the past. 103's nothing to complain about. Petrarca 117, he's come back up again, had a low run of form to his price point, which is at 463,000. So I think if you don't have him, because this was bad, we got 72, 93, 101, 59, and now 117. I think even considering Gold Coast's run home, that Petrarca I would jump on for this price if you're finishing your forward line. Only for the fact that Anderson is having a great season, and if there is a target for tagging, it's going to be Anderson, which will let Petrarca and Rao free a little bit. So that's my terminology. It really hasn't worked out in my favor whatsoever. I think I'm relying too heavily on other teams tagging. Because Anderson has definitely been the best out of all four of them, to be honest. And Durham 109, one of the other two Essendon players that actually tried out there. I think from here on out, we are looking at that kind of average 109 region. See, he's had 121, 127, 90, 128, and a 109. I'm expecting around 105 average for the rest of the season, which is perfect. And if you jumped on last week, he jumped on at the perfect time. He's going to fill out that forward excellently. And Took Miller, 93, it's his average. We knew what we were getting with him. I was hoping for a little bit more of a security 100 each week, but 93 in his role, half forward, with no other real options in that forward line, I'm not mad at. That's one thing that I've not kicked myself over is my forward line because of the fact that there are not a lot of options. I'm fine with a Toke Miller 93. Then Hugo, serviceable as usual, 73, which cancelled out Houston's score, crazily enough. But that is going to be changed very, very shortly with some of our last trades. So I guess we'll go into a bench. Dirkson's still earning some money, 67. I was looking to trade him potentially last week, but thought he's got some more money to make, and he will continue to from this week. Could be one of my last blokes to trade up to get to where I want to be. Anard, 54. Fine. I don't know what his job security is like, but 54, trugging along, yeah, it's okay. Cumming, 53, might be the time to jump off this week, I'm thinking. Just naturally, he's probably got a break even around his average, so might be the time to move on and find our keeper for the flex spot. Ison, 49, is about that average for the rest of the year, so he's just going to have that ultra security on the bench. I'm not going to ever use him, I don't think, but just in case you really get dire straits with 3 injuries one round, I have him to use. McKenna, 58, a little bit back down. I could also use him as that last spot to move, but I also want a little bit of security down here because we don't have any other forward options that are actually playing at the moment, so we'll see what happens. It's either Cumming or McKenna out because they've both got a break even at their average, even a little bit higher. But that is pretty much the week review. We've got 53,000 to play with, which is not a lot. My moves, I was thinking if we could get there, is I want to keep Hugo, to be honest, as a security pick because I just think that he has a higher ceiling than all these other rookies, just and job security wise. The Crows look like they love him. We're looking at potentially a Cumming and a McKenna to a Bailey Smith because I think that Geelong's run home is pretty nice, especially towards the end of the season for sitting in that flex. Because I want Bailey Smith. I think that he's at a great price point as he currently stands, and he's an accumulator. I think that's what I want on my team. Could be a Rao swap to flex to potentially be moved on, and I really want to get rid of this bloke, Houston. He's pissing me off, but we'll figure that out. All right, so we got 3 days till the next lockout, so we've got a lot of time to think about things and play with the things, but we'll see where we go. Thursday night, free over Sydney. Pretty good one. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out as usual. The videos may slow down towards the back end of the season once I've used all my trades. It might only be a review. I might not do my final trades and captain choices because there might not be final trades. We're getting to that point in the season where there's just no point making a video pretty much because of the fact that we've done everything. So you might get a reviews, but yeah, the video is going to slow down going towards the end of the season, just naturally as they would. So thanks for hanging out. It's been a great season so far. I hope we continue to shoot up. We had position to go up and we could have gone up even further, but we're still in the green. Even with a Zacco captain, we're still in the green from this year. So thanks for hanging out as usual, and I'll catch you all in my final trades in 3 days' time. Peace out.